Hello everyone. So in this video we'll discuss regarding the formation of steam, which is the first unit from the subject applied thermal engineering. So here we'll be covering the two-phase system. What do you mean by the concept of two-phase system? And then we'll highlight on regarding the formation of steam. So how actually the steam is formed. Okay, and we'll also cover what are the different types of steam. So that is the wet steam, dry steam, and superheated steam. So first let's go through the first one, that is concept of two-phase system. So what is this two-phase system? So if for example if water is there, okay, and if you start heating it, what happens? It starts slowly forming into vapor. So at a point it happens such that they at the below you'll be having a water, and above that whatever the heat is whatever the water it has absorbed heat, so that heat has been that water has been converted into vapor. So at the below you will be having water, and above that you will be having water vapor. So here you can see water is a different form of phase, and vapor is a different form of phase. So two phases are meeting in one cylinder, piston and cylinder arrangement. So the such system we call it as two phase system. So we'll just see what is that concept of two phase system. Now consider a piston and cylinder arrangement. Clear? So a piston is free to move inside this cylinder, so that whenever water is heated, so it expands and piston moves. So now below you can see this is TV diagram, that is temperature and specific volume diagram. So we'll be explaining this two phase system using this diagram. So now consider 1 kg of water, liquid water contained within a piston and cylinder arrangement. So you can see at this point, that is point 1, just concentrate on the cursor here. At point 1 this is the condition of water. So I have taken at this point, not from here, that is at this point, because when you take a water it will be having some initial temperature and pressure. Okay, so that's why when you plot in this graph, that is temperature versus specific volume, so that point starts from here because it is initially having some temperature and pressure. So let the temperature of water be around 20 degrees Celsius and its pressure be around 1 atmospheric, that is 1.014 bar. The water is heated at constant pressure, in the sense whatever the process is there, it takes place at constant pressure. The pressure doesn't increase or decrease, it remains same during this phase change process. So now what I'll do is I'll start heating this water. Okay, so when I start heating this water from point 1, it slowly goes and reaches at point F. So this point F we call it as saturation temperature, means at this point we'll get the boiling point of water, that is how much, 100 degree Celsius. Clear? So this 100 degree Celsius is at atmospheric pressure. So if pressure goes on increasing, its boiling point also goes on increasing. Clear? So in during this process, what you can see, the volumes increases very slightly. You can see here there is very small increase in volume. There is increasing considerable increase in temperature. There is very small increase in volume. Clear? So during this process, what happens? Some amount of water is remaining water only, but certain amount has been converted into steam. So you can see here the water has been settled down, and above that we have a what, the vapor. So you can see this is a different phase, and these two phases are meeting one above the other. So this concept we call it as two phase system. So now what happens is, if I further continue heating, what happens? Portion of water changes to vapor, that is what we have seen, and when I again heat this whole unit or whole liquid, what happens? The whole liquid has been converted into water vapor. So that can be seen using this diagram. So from F, if I again start heating, what happens? Its temperature remains constant, it doesn't change, but what happens? Its specific volume, it goes on increasing. You can see here the volume has increased considerably, and whole of water is converted into vapor. So this is the concept of two phase system. So now let's see the same concept again. It is employed to highlight or to learn about the formation of steam. So how actually the steam is formed from water, and what are the different types of steams. Okay, so the formation of steam, again same way, we'll take a water, okay, which is having so again we'll take a water, right, so which is having a temperature of 0 degree Celsius, and which is kept in a piston and cylinder arrangement. So again when water is heated, so its temperature goes on increasing, and the water starts forming into steam. So here you can see on the right side, these are the diagrams for the formation of steam. So this process will be explained by this temperature and enthalpy or heat addition plot. So first what we'll do is the whatever the temperature, so water is there, it is heated at constant pressure. The pressure doesn't change. So water absorbs heat and starts forming into vapor or steam. So what is that? So now this is the initial condition, that is before heating. So when I start heating this, what happens? Its temperature slowly goes on increasing, right? So there is increase in temperature and there is slight increase in its heat, or what we call it as, sorry, volume. So during this process what happens, there is considerable amount of temperature as well as there is considerable amount of heat. So this heat we call it as sensible heat. So during this heat what happens, there is increase in temperature, there is very less increase in specific volume, or what we call it as volume of the liquid. Clear? So at this point, so here at this point we call it as the point, or the saturation temperature, means the water has attained the boiling point. So when I further start heating it, so which has already attained the boiling point, when I further start heating it, what happens? The formation of steam takes place. This process we call it as, what we call it as evaporation, means the water starts forming into vapors. Okay. So during this, whatever the heat that has been absorbed during the formation of steam, such heat we call it as latent heat. So what is this latent heat? There is, during this latent heat, or during this heat absorption, there is a considerable increase in volume as well as heat, but the temperature remains constant, it doesn't change. Okay. So now the whatever water is there, it is this point, that is boiling point. So when I further heat it, what happens? It starts forming into steam. So that is nothing but your wet steam. So wet steam, we call it as wet steam because, so whatever steam is there, so that steam has some amount of water particles suspended, freely suspended into that steam. So that's why we call it as a wet steam. So at this point, so maybe somewhere at this point, the water and the steam, okay, they will be in equal proportion, or can say it is wholly formed into wet steam. So when I further heat it, what happens? So whole of that water or water vapor has been completely converted into dry saturated steam. So dry saturated steam will be at this point. Just concentrate on the cursor on the right side of the screen. Okay, so at this point we will be having totally dry saturated steam. The dry saturated steam is nothing but a steam in which there is no water particles freely suspended. It will be totally dry, there will be no water particles in it. So such steam we call it as dry saturated steam. So when I further heat that dry saturated steam, what happens? There will be considerable or gradually increase in its temperature as well as its volume. Okay, so there is considerable increase in its temperature as well as volume, and the dry saturated steam is fully converted into what we call it as superheated steam. So this superheated steam will be having a high temperature and high heat. Okay, so such steam are used in power plants, okay, to run the turbine. So that turbine is connected to some out unit, that is for example like generators. So that generator, what it does, it generates the electricity, right? So these superheated steam are used to run the turbine. So this is regarding the formation of steam. So next we'll see what are the different types of steams. Okay, so first one we'll go through wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam. So same way, using this diagram I'll be explaining. So wet steam, so wet steam is a steam in which water droplets are freely suspended. Okay, so wet steam, at this point it is what we call it as water has attained a boiling point, or that is 100 degrees Celsius. So this temperature we call it as saturation temperature. When I further heat this water, what happens? The temperature remains same, but it starts forming into steam, right? That steam we call it as a wet steam. So here during this process, what happens? During from here to here, this is what we call it as the wet steam. The whatever water will be there, or the steam will be there, it will be having some water particles suspended into it. So during this, what we call it as the heat that is absorbed is latent heat. That is, there is considerable increase in heat as well as volume, and there is considerable increase in heat and volume. So from here to here, this is wet steam, and when I heat that further, when I heat that wet steam further, what happens? I'll get dry steam. So dry steam is nothing but when the water is heated to the boiling point and vaporized, with additional heat we'll get the dry steam. So at this point we'll get the dry saturated steam, which doesn't have any water particles suspended in it, which is completely dry. So after once I heat whatever the water is there, that has been whatever the steam is there, or the dry saturated steam, So once if I heat it further, what happen, it starts increasing temperature and heat in volume. There is an increase in temperature and volume both, and the dry steam is fully converted into superheated steam. So the dry steam to superheated steam during this process, the steam formation of or the superheated steam is formed during this process. Clear? So this is nothing but the dry and the steam, the three different types of steam. Those are wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam. So you can see here the superheated steam has a higher temperature and lower density, hence these used in propulsion applications such as turbine, to run the turbine. Okay, so there's gas turbine. So these steams, the high, what we call them as a superheated steam, are used in the turbine so that the turbines are run and you get a power generation or power output. So I'll just, here we can see there are some of examples of wet steam. So wet steam is nothing but like this. You might have observed it. Okay, so for example, if you are heating the water and if you just place a plate above that container or bowl, so what happens? After a few minutes, you can see that there are water droplets which are formed on the surface of that, on the inner surface of that plate which you have put it on that bowl, right? So such what we call them as vapors, right? So that is nothing but your wet steam. And we'll see what is this dry saturated steam. You can see here, this is the dry saturated steam which is fully dry, and this is the wet steam. So wet steam has some water particles in it, and dry steam is totally dry, there are no water particles. And we'll see the superheated steam also, how it looks like. Actually you can see it is totally nearly invisible to see, but since there are air particles, so you can see here, right? This is nothing but the superheated steam. So this superheated steam is totally invisible to eye, nearly invisible, you cannot see it. So which is having a high temperature and lower density, which is used to run the turbines. Clear? So in this video what we have covered, so we have learnt about the concept of two-phase system. So what do you mean by a two-phase system? And then we have seen the formation of steam using this piston cylinder arrangement and temperature pressure diagram. So how the formation of steam takes place. So the water is taken, it is kept in piston cylinder arrangement. When you start heating it, it starts expanding, right? So first water and then water vapors are formed, and that when you further heat that water vapor, what happens? A wet steam is formed, and then once you further heat that wet steam, you will get a dry steam, and again you further heat that dry steam, you will get superheated steam. So that is what we have seen during the formation of steam. And then we went through the different types of steam, that is wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam, using TH diagram. So that is temperature and enthalpy diagram. So what are the different points? In the diagram we have seen the different points. So at what point you will be getting wet steam, at what point you will be getting dry steam, and at what point you will be getting the superheated steam. Thank you.